Congratulations, you finally made it to 4 p.m. You know what that means. Happy hour. It's time to kick back, relax, and dive into the world of sports with the Young and Norvelle Show. Whether you're catching up on the latest scores, analyzing the big plays, or gearing up for tonight's games, we've got you covered. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's talk sports. Here they are, Patrick Young and Terry Norvelle.
And here we go on a Tuesday, beautiful Tuesday, warming up outside, and we are inside the comfortable Hurricane Grill and Wings here in Jewington Creek. Terry Norvelle, Trent and Torsia. That means you're all sports, but you love some baseball, don't you?
I do, and so do you.
I do too. It is baseball season. We've got March Madness, of course, steaming along Tuesday before the big Final Four on Saturday. Been a fun tournament. Been a fun tournament. We'll get deep into March Madness today, Trent. We'll talk some baseball. Some news of the day real quick. Buzz Williams, and I'm not surprised at this move. Texas A&M basketball coach Buzz Williams, good coach. He's a real good coach. He's won everywhere. Marquette, Texas A&M. He wins it where I think he's a player's coach. He teaches and coaches a tough brand of basketball. A&M's always been tough, and they'll grind you. Buzz Williams leaves Texas A&M, was announced today, to take the Maryland job. And I understand that. Maryland leans heavy. Their university leans basketball. They win national titles, and they've got a deep tradition of basketball. Texas A&M is a football school. They play pretty good basketball. Buzz Williams has done good things, but they're always going to be second fiddle. I can understand why Buzz Williams went to a Maryland that kind of puts basketball first.
No, it makes a ton of sense. Maryland's been good. They're not quite a blue blood,
yeah,
but they're
not
pretty
quite.
close.
But I mean, they go ACC roots, basketball country. They won the 2002 national championship under Gary Williams. I can understand why.
They had Lenny Bias.
Yeah,
then.
sure.
Way back in the day. But, Buzz was endorsed by Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
100 years ago. That right there says a lot. This is when he was just getting started in the coaching ranks, and I'm not surprised at all. I mean, you've got
that's a pretty good move by him. I think he's going to a basketball first school. I think Maryland flirts with a little football here and there, but they're going to make their hay in basketball, and they historically have made their hay in basketball. He's going to go to a school where,
including this year,
basketball's first.
Yeah,
basketball, I think, at Maryland right now is first. I want to get some other news out, and I hate to get mean early in the show, but I threw this out on Facebook. Yeah, maybe I like being mean.
I think so.
I threw this out. Just a little fun Facebook thing earlier today. Got some chuckles on it. More punchable face. You know, you like to play that game. Who's got the more punchable face? And we kid because we care, right?
Right.
But you've heard people say, hey, who's got a more punchable face? And I got one today because on the heels of LSU women's basketball getting eliminated, and that blankety blank Kim Mulkey. Boy, is she unlikable. More punchable face. LSU female basketball coach Kim Mulkey. You know her.
I do.
You don't love her, but you know her.
I know her.
You
saw her presser too.
Yeah, and this is where this comes from. More punchable face. Kim Mulkey, LSU women's basketball coach, or UConn men's coach Danny Hurley. More punchable face, and the way he acted the other night. That's tough. That's tough. Let's just do on that.
For me, I don't have to. It's
not
tough.
How about a double? How about just a bam? A double punch?
I love Danny Hurley. I like what he stands for.
Yeah.
But now
he's over the top.
They're both whiners, ultimate whiners.
Yeah.
And here's
1, 2, 3.
Like crunching on ice. No.
What am I walking into here?
Yeah. And that was wrong. She was so wrong doing that. The question that was thrown her way was a legitimate question. It was phrased well. It didn't have a tone. And she was just being an ass.
Yeah.
She was just being an ass. And she's got that kind of abrasive, I'm in charge of the room personality. I mean, that's her.
How dare you ask me a question like that? And
we'll ask Patrick Young. Speaking of mean guys,
there he is.
Patrick Young, he'll get mean on you. Patrick, more punchable face.
I want one.
Kim Mulkey or Danny Hurley? More punchable face. Oh, turn your volume up. Hit your volume. Hit your volume back.
My volume.
He's grinding
I'll-
on that question too.
No, I'm not driving.
We'll
First time
get him going.
my
don't hear you,
dad is
Pat.
driving.
Still don't hear you.
Give
He's gonna
me,
get
give
it.
me 1
By
second.
the way,
Headphones.
I don't know what that meant.
while he's checking it,
Was that a cookie?
I know I
Was that
owe
a
him.
cookie?
I owe him a hat and a cowbell.
Yeah.
But now
Can you hear me now?
Gator Boys.
Yeah,
Gator Boys.
love it.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me now?
He's up here. We can't hear a thing he's saying. I think he's saying that Terry's the best host he's ever worked
Can you
with.
hear?
Yeah, I think that's what he's saying.
Got you.
Oh. I don't know. Maybe I got everything on. We can hear us. I can hear me.
Yeah.
Hold on. You know what? Let me hit a button. Hold on, Pat. It may be me. Hold on. Let me
It
hit a
is
button.
you.
All right, Pat. Talk.
What's up?
We got you. We got you. How you doing, man?
What do you mean? I'm doing great, guys. How you like the hat?
Well, I love the hat, buddy. Love the hat.
It's fresh.
I had to make a trip to Gainesville this morning.
Right?
Make a trip to Gainesville this morning, and I don't know if you saw. I had doctor appointment on the game day. The last game, you saw the band members all had these hats on. The company Radwear.
Okay.
They're located here in Gainesville. They can't resell these hats or sell these hats. Okay. They've been giving them out. They do all types of think of a company like Imprint that does, like, if you have an item and you want your logo on it, like that. So
they only had one hat they could give you. They couldn't give you.
They'll have
two.
more in tomorrow. But what's amazing,
You won't be in
they literally got an order from the UAA to send 50 hats to San Francisco, and the guy got it done in 24 hours. Unbelievable.
That's great. Well, speaking of the hat and the
Kim Mulkey, too, by the way. Kim Mulkey.
Kim Mulkey. That's two for Kim Mulkey. Yeah, boy, punchable face.
Wait,
you went Hurley?
No.
Well,
three. He called it a tie.
I'd like to punch him. Can I say I like to punch them both?
Yeah, that's what I said. A double wham. Double wham. Speaking of Gator Boys, before the game, Pat, you were probably in the studio at SEC Network. Before the game on, my days were on Saturday. Is that last time Florida played? Saturday.
Yes.
Yep. Before the game on Saturday, the little pregame story on the Gators, they did a story on their workout guy. Can't remember his name. And,
it's some type of, he has a Hispanic last name.
Yeah, it's
okay. Yeah.
And he has, in addition to being the workout guy, the strength and conditioning for Florida basketball, he's got a philosophy, believes in touching the earth, or the power of the earth, right? So he took
walk around barefoot.
Yeah, and so while they were in San Francisco, he took the Gators to the shoreline. They got in the beach, right? And to be one with the earth and use the earth's strength. And
I think it's called connecting.
Grounding. Thank you, Patrick. Yep. So as the little 5-minute piece was going on, and the whole team's wading in the ocean, and the salt water and the sand, and they're barefoot, as you guys said. At the end of it, there was a drone kind of showing all the players, and they're frolicking, and they had in the sand spelled out "Gator Boys" in real big letters. Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's caught on, and you know where that originates from, don't you, Pat? The Gator Boys.
No, I don't.
The back-to-back national championships. I'm almost positive it was Joakim Noah that he started saying, "Them Gator Boys are hot tonight." After each game, "Them Gator Boys are hot tonight."
And he's not even a Southern guy either.
No,
right?
No, I don't think so. Southern France, maybe.
Right,
right. Southern.
That's pretty cool.
Southern France. Guys, I want to get this out too. It's not basketball related, but as we say goodbye to March, March is gone. Hey, March, you didn't do it like I tell every month. You didn't do anything wrong. You were a good, solid month, March, but you got to go. You just got us 1 month closer to college football. 100.
March has got to. No, forget about that, Terry. March has got to go because we got the UFL, baby.
Did y'all see the week 1 attendance of that thing? Oh my God, it's not going to be
good, especially this time of year.
Please, God, let it go. It's
this time of year. I mean, you got basketball season. NBA basketball season is almost over. Yeah. Well, and we know, like we belabored it last year, Terry.
Yeah.
How much time the NBA playoffs took between series. So they're competing with that. Then, let's look, whether you want to agree with it or not, there's a lot of places that love women's basketball.
Yeah.
That's going to take a lot of eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, I
And
think
then
that's
the last thing to your point, Terry, who we watching out there?
Yeah. Well,
Who's
think about
pulling
it.
crowds?
They only play that UFL league is only like 8 games, so it's 8 weekends. Last weekend they kicked off, they went up against one weekend of March Madness. This weekend they'll go up against another week of March Madness, right? I mean,
And they're having payment. Aren't they having payment issues right now?
they are having pay issues,
which is like wash, rinse, and repeat.
yeah,
with them
every year.
every year.
You got a weekend coming up 2 weekends from now. You got this little thing called the Masters. That'll eat up another weekend.
No,
I say it. I'll
all right.
say it again. I say it this time every year. If there was money to be made and a need for spring football, the National Football League would be doing something. They are very, very smart, and they've never even sneezed toward spring football. That's
Never.
all you know.
Well, they're trying to liken it to the G League in the NBA.
I don't
So
think
it's like,
they're
what do you think the
but their
attendance is in
players-
the G League?
but their players in the UFL are 28, 29, 30-year-old, never were starting.
Exactly.
Jordan Tamu from Ole Miss is a quarterback, and guys you would never pay to see when they're, at least the G League gets 21, 22, 23, potentially on the rise. These are guys that weren't stars.
And here's arena football that's hung around. for a
Arena
long
football,
time.
yeah. I mean, I don't care for either one, but arena football will eat up
It's
some of the
different.
weekends.
It's fun. I don't know. I mean,
Well, arena
guys,
football, at least arena football, it's a different game, and it's indoors, and they accept. I think the arena league that it's not going to compete with the NFL. They
No.
accept that.
or
I
Yeah.
think that league does make profit every year. I think so.
all right, boys. March Madness. We're one day closer to Saturday, the Final Four. I'm gonna throw this out.
I'll press the button.
The favorite is Duke. All the percentage of winners has Duke 25, 26%. If you're doing a big national poll,
yeah.
Florida's 2. Houston's been coming in 3, and I think Auburn's been coming in 4. With Duke as the favorite, I think we'll all kind of agree they're the favorite.
Well, right now
Um,
they are.
Will Duke get pushed? And what happened? Duke hasn't been pushed all year. Now,
Arizona got them a little bit.
well, let me qualify.
6-point win.
It's not their fault that their ACC was really bad. There were, the SEC, every week you had Tennessee, Alabama knocking heads, Auburn, Florida knocking heads, Florida, Tennessee. It'll be interesting to see if Duke comes down, if anybody can get Duke in a game with 5 minutes left. How will they respond? We've seen Florida respond. We saw Auburn respond with a lot of adversity the other night.
Yeah.
Houston looks like they'll respond because Lord knows they're built on defense.
Yeah.
Do we know how Duke will? Now, they may not have to respond. They may win 2 more by 15, and who cares how they respond? We'll never know. But are you curious a little bit how they may respond if anybody pushes them?
I am, and I'm not. I mean, I would leave it to Pat as the basketball expert, but Duke they look unflappable, and they were
They look
tested.
unflappable. They do.
And I thought,
Yeah.
I mean, that game
Yeah.
was close, late.
Yeah.
And then Cooper Flagg he doesn't have to be the guy. He can be the guy.
Did y'all ever really think Arizona was going to win that game?
I did.
I mean, did you, like the Florida games, you're kind of biting your knuckles. Do you think Duke fan was biting their knuckles against Arizona?
No.
I don't. Maybe I'm wrong.
maybe
Go ahead.
a little bit.
I mean, I had the
Maybe a little
I had Arizona the points in it. But no, and I felt really good about it.
Okay.
And it was like 7 points or something.
And
like that.
you
So,
know, I don't know. They beat Alabama by
I think
1.
we would give Duke a little bit more credit because the league was weak. If they gone undefeated in their league, they should have gone undefeated in the league.
Maybe.
Uh,
I will give you this. Obviously, Duke.
well, they lost
'cause the
early.
league was
though.
so bad.
But
Well, I mean, they lost 2 or 3 games, but they were all
they
Yeah.
lost 3.
one late
Well,
to
one of them
Clemson.
was early.
Yeah, and one or two of them were early, and then they lost late to Clemson in the regular season, another regular season game. Now, I'll give you this. They beat Alabama by 20. But Cooper Flagg, he scored 16 points. He was 6 of. He didn't have a great game. Was
No, he
that
didn't.
was that because Alabama's athleticism? And I don't. It's just going to be fun to see if Duke gets pushed in either Saturday or if they make it to Monday. How do they respond? Because man, they have proved. And it's not their fault the ACC wasn't very
Not
good.
their fault. But that's
But
what the record's supposed to be like. It's what it should be for one seeds.
yeah,
You know, they should have, you know, a little bit of a test here or there, but mostly they dominate on their way through.
I agree. I agree, and they may be so good they will never get pushed in a meaningful game. You know, I don't
Isn't
know.
that crazy to even
That's why we play the
say
game.
that?
So,
They're going to play. I mean, would you argue that Houston's one of the best defenses in the country?
I think they
If
are.
not the
They're
best.
the best defense. When you say
I
Patrick,
think they are the best. I think they're number one.
I had a discussion this morning with a buddy of mine, and we'll start it now. Take it through the break. Try to keep it going if we can. But he asked me this morning. He said, Terry, from the Gators' perspective, he's a Gator fan. He said, from Florida's perspective, Terry, would it be better for Florida to play if Florida gets by Auburn, which is a big if, by the way? It's going to be a good game. Would it be better for Florida to play Houston or Duke? I thought for a second, and I unequivocally said I think Florida would have a better chance playing Duke than Houston. I'll give you my reasoning, and then I want to hear your reasoning. If Florida matches up with Duke, Florida can still play their preferred style of basketball. They like to get up and down. They like to shoot three-pointers. They like an open floor 94 feet. They may not be able to beat Duke at their preferred style of basketball, but if they play Duke, Florida will play Florida's style. The ball may not go in the basket enough. If Florida plays Houston, Houston makes you play a different style. Nobody wants to play a 50-point, get punched in the face every other second, right? I think Florida would have a better chance running with Duke and playing Florida basketball and taking their chances than a totally different style that Houston wants to get you into. And Florida's never played that game all year. Thoughts?
Well, I mean, I think Florida has a little bit played that game though, where they like to run it up and down and shoot the threes. The transition basketball, I think it's going to come down to how Houston shoots.
Yeah.
They're getting rebounds and they have the opportunity to run.
Well, they do such a great job of extending possessions on the glass. I mean, that's what was a huge downfall for Tennessee.
They're like Florida, man.
They extended. They had a rebound or one. They probably took well over a minute off the clock in one possession because of offensive rebounds.
Oh, they must have got 3 or 4 that one possession you're referring to. They kept getting rebounds and kept getting. Pat, do you what are your thoughts on that? Do you think Florida? I think Florida would rather play Duke and play Florida's style and see if it's good enough than get in that damn rock fight with Houston. And you're out of your. Houston makes it hard to pass the ball on the perimeter. It's hard to. It's just hard to pass the basketball.
Well, that's what I tell people all the time when it comes to like why like you look at Duke. When they played Tennessee, Duke was able to run their offense so easily. Like this is where great teams execute the details, and the details is like ball pressure. You know, if you let guys just catch the ball on time in the spot, like no friction, no resistance, like you're just letting them. It's just a matter if they make it or miss it at that point. But like that was a huge. I always like to go back to when Villanova beat UCLA or UNC in the championship a few years ago. The greatest finish ever, where there was the buzzer beat. UNC was the better team, but Villanova was so committed to the little things. Like they made it difficult for them to get the ball in the post.
Yeah.
They made it difficult for them to get past. And look, because of that, it gave them the opportunity to beat a better team with that final shot.
Yeah.
And teams that's why what makes Houston's defense so good. They are so committed to all the little things that make their defense go to that elite level. So yeah, I mean, I think your matchup, especially with Florida recently struggling with taking care of the ball, Houston's going to turn them up.
Yeah.
Big time. Going to try to mix it up, and Florida was struggling so many times. So to your point, yeah, I mean, Duke may be a much better matchup than Houston.
When you watch Houston play, and Brett, you've seen Florida play enough basketball now. Houston plays man-to-man defense, but it's 5 1-on-1. I'm in your ass. 5 little man-to-man games going on, and they are in your jersey. Using Florida, for example, when Walter Clayton's got the ball outside the 3-point line, he's probing, and he's a lot of times he'll pass the ball to the 2 guard, and then Clayton will then, as he passes it way out on the perimeter, then he'll loop around the baseline, or he'll look for a screen. Well, that first pass, Clayton to the next guy, is Houston makes that hard.
Well, they do because
normally that's an easy pass, Patrick, but Houston makes it hard just to get your damn stuff
because they're pushing you out,
and they're in your jersey.
We dare you to ball down low.
They're in your jersey,
man. And Patrick, we talked about Terry and I talked a little bit pre-show about this. The Houston players are bought into that brand of ball.
Ooh, are they bought in?
It is hard to get guys to play defense like that.
Yeah, man, they love it, Patrick. They love it.
Yeah,
they love it.
No, without a doubt. And quick thing, being in Gainesville, I was able to swing by today at the practice facility and saw Duke Warner and saw Tracy Paff, and just wanted to, we had this discussion a few days ago, like what is their preparation going to look like?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you don't need to practice to get your guys to stop turning over the ball. Like that was really their biggest issue. Very light. They will have play. They will do some 5-on-5, but most of it's going to be the scouting, recovery right now, and just making sure the guys have the right mentality, which they've had all year coming into the game. So there's nothing extra special about this time of year because they've been. I like to believe they've had a great preparation. For most of the season.
And Patrick, you played in a Final Four, so you know that Friday practice, all 4 teams get an hour, right? All 4 teams get 1 hour in the in the dome, everybody, and it's open to the public, right? So there'll be 20,000 fans. It's open to the public, which plays to what Patrick said. It's not like Friday before tip-off on Saturday. You're putting in some new secret stuff. Everybody's there watching. So there is no secret.
You might. They might throw some stuff in there, but I like when I talked to Coach Golden at the beginning of the season, I love the sets that look the same. Like the setup is the same, but you can run so many different actions through it. So some wrinkles here or there. Like you don't want to get complicated. You just want to make sure your guys, everyone's in the same. Like they got to do better post defending. That was abysmal how they defended the post in this last game. And Coach Golden, he didn't want to double. And I was like, he should have had the double. Micah Hand-Logan's 7'1", Alex Condon's pretty much 7 feet tall. So they if they can improve in that area, and that's just Pat, I don't think that's something you.
Do they have to hold their ground more? Does Todd Golden need to start barking at the officials more? Is it a combination of things?
No, they need to hold their ground more. There's a fine line you have to have in post defense where you can resist against an offensive player that's trying to back you down. You cannot try to meet them.
Yeah.
And each there, and then if they're trying to go through your chest, all down, take that charge. But the resistance was not very good. Guys were getting, and I asked, I really cool. I was coached by Coach Donovan and Coach Pelfrey my senior year to defend the post with my shoulders parallel to the sideline. So I'm flat. I'm not in this kind of 45-degree angle. Most teams, or most you watch the game, most guys defend that way. The concept of it, where is the weakest point for defense? You know that, Terry?
No.
Basketball?
Tell me.
Say straight at you.
Right. No. If the ball gets to the middle of the paint, then you have, there's no help for the ball being in the middle of the paint.
Okay.
The highest percentage made threes are going to be the ones that you're in the paint and I get a pass to a guy. It just makes it's the most difficult place for a defense to have any counter. So we wanted to eliminate guys being able to get to the middle. And then you say, what about the baseline? You want to use the baseline to your advantage. The baseline is your sixth defender. So most guys, if they try, like Janai Broom, he likes to try to work up the paint to come back to a drop step to his left-hand shot and use the angle. A lot of guys aren't great at that, for one. And two, where you're positioned, you want to try to get that angle where they have no angle on their shot, where there's no backboard. Not a lot of people can make that. It's a lower percentage shot than them getting to the middle. And plus, if they take that shot on the baseline, they're not going to offensive rebound that as well. You're not in a position where you can get back on the glass. So little Patrick coaching 1-on-1. Yeah, Coach Donovan, he called me and explained all that to me, and concept that they try to use in the NBA as well. But, good offense will always overcome good defense.
I was a little surprised, and this isn't just Terry, the Gator fan, that wanted Florida to win. When Texas Tech found their back down offense, and their power forward and their center scored on about 10 of 12 possessions. They might have missed a few. Most of the time, though, if your a power forward backs down, scores, he does that 10, 11 times in a row, there's going to be one, maybe two whistles blown on the offensive guy. They're going to dribbling the ball. They leaned toward Texas Tech, I thought, and let them get away with a lot the other night. Not one time.
Yeah, I think if they take a charge, if you take a charge and get that call one time, that guy is going to be thinking, like, I don't want to pick up my second foul, and they're going to be hesitant on how aggressive they can be in the paint. You're absolutely right, Terry.
I also thought that, and this sounds like whining, but it's not. I also thought that the officiating crew the other night missed 3 or 4 travels. I thought there was a lot of 4 or 5 little jab steps that the big men for Tech took and shuffled their feet and all.
You know what?
But I do think college basketball in big games, the officiating leans toward the underdog. I've always thought that. They kind of, I don't think they necessarily take the court saying we're going to help the underdog, but I think subconsciously in big games, and Florida has been the favorite the last 3 games. UConn was the underdog, Maryland was the underdog, and Texas Tech. And I think college basketball officials lean toward giving the underdog a bit of a break. And I thought it was that way.
With the called fouls, though, did they define that? Because one thing I'll back up to the point about the traveling. I've seen more uncalled travels in this tournament than I think ever. And then all of a sudden one pops up, and I go, how is that a travel if the other 5 weren't?
That's like the NBA. Right. Every 60 games, there's a travel in the NBA. You're like, whoa! I didn't even 3 seconds.
Call 5 during the season.
3 seconds. I didn't even know they still had that. Yeah. They still have 3 seconds. How about that?
Used to say pitch a tent down there. It's
definitely. All right, guys. Let's take our first break here. Cruising along on a Tuesday. Of course, we're in Mandarin, the heart of Mandarin, right by the Georgia Creek Bridge at Hurricanes Grill and Wings here in Mandarin. Patrick Young, Trenton Torsha, Terry Norvelle, March Madness dominant topic this week. We got some baseball to get into as well, and some news and notes. By the way, as we go to break, it looks like the NFL meetings that are going on, they just ran a scroll that said they tabled I call it the power sneak. I don't call it but they were talking about. I hope they don't eliminate that play from football. I don't want to see teams get punished for being really good at illegal play. That play is legal.
Hey, legal play, something that everybody else can do.
Yeah, they said they're going to table it. It's not going to get.
And I don't like they cited player safety. How many injuries were actually on the tush push? I didn't see. Like, if that was the case, I'd agree with you. But anyways, let's get to break, man. This is a Hurricanes Julington Creek Tuesday.
Nice. Attaboy, Pat. Let's take a break. Back after this timeout.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jax 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jax Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Guys, let's take a break real quick as we welcome you back to the Tuesday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show, live at Hurricane Grill and Wings in Mandarin. Hurricane in Mandarin, right here on San Jose Boulevard, right at the foot of the Joint Creek Ridge. Great, over 30 flavors. How many flavors have you had here? You've had over 30. I bet you've had over 30. This is kind of your home hangout, right, Trent Torsia?
Yeah, I mean, I like a lot of the dry rubs. Like Caribbean jerk, very good.
Yes.
The Inferno's good.
Ooh,
so what they can, what I found out is everything doesn't have to be wet. So you can get the same flavors. It's all powder anyway to start, and you just mix it in a little liquid.
Good point.
And I don't know if I've had 30, but
say you're a dry rub guy more again. You're more of a dry rub guy, right? Wings. What about wings?
on
over 30 flavors.
Shrimp too.
Yeah. How about that?
By the way,
I don't know if we still have Patrick Young on. If we do, I want his comments on this. I want to step away from basketball to get this story out. I want to be the first one. I want you guys to have heard this from me. College football story. Okay, you ready for this? Coastal Carolina, college football team, Coastal Carolina. They won a College World Series about 10 years ago.
Not long ago.
And they played pretty decent football, right? They haven't been playing football that long. Mm-hmm. But Coastal Carolina, Division I football school. How about this for a promotion this football season? And this is for all 6 of their home football games. Coastal Carolina is offering in every game free concessions.
Please.
Absolute.
What?
Listen to this, guys, okay? You're going to hear it first, and you're going to hear it later and go, that's Coastal Carolina football. Free concession. Their theory is they will make up for the free food they're going to give away in extra ticket sales. Okay? Here's the deal. 4 items per visit to the concession are absolutely free. Hot dog, nachos, popcorn, fountain drink. You don't have to get all 4, but you can get 4 per trip.
Well, why wouldn't you get all 4?
And you can, well, here's why. You can go back. It's not a one-time. You can go back all game long. You can only get a maximum of those 4 every trip, and they ask you have to go on their school football app and click every time you get in line to do it. I guess they just want a number count. But you can go back all game as much as you want.
So you could eat 6 hot dogs.
Why 6?
Well, I don't know.
Why 6?
Now,
that's not a lot.
You're going to want to. You're probably not going to live at a concession stand because you're there to watch the football game.
Are you though?
But listen to me. Free concessions, all home games this year for Coastal Carolina football, and their theory is that they're going to make it back on people saying, "Hell yeah, let's get season tickets. Food's taken care of." They think it's going to balance out. But you heard it here first. How cool is that?
Well,
how weird is that?
You know what they're going to do? You know what they're going to do? The products that they bring, they're going to be even so cheap. That's one of the best way. You got to cut your product. The quality of products they bring in are going to probably be a little bit.
And think about fountain drinks are costing next to nothing. The cups more than that. So fountain drinks a very cheap item on the natural. Popcorn you could probably make for pennies, right? A bag of popcorn for pennies cost, right? Hot dog and a bun, okay, there's a little bit. But nachos, nachos aren't that expensive, right? The chips.
Tortilla chips are so cheap, and then the cheese is probably cheap as well.
Melt some cheap cheese or whatever.
But let me say it again. Coastal Carolina college football this upcoming season, and I'm assuming it's the visiting fans too. Anybody can do it. Free concessions at Coastal Carolina.
I need to move.
Free. I'm not free.
I mean, we just said this, right? But here's what this screams: concessions make so much money. How much they charge you? Well, think about that.
On the markup. On the markup. Yeah.
$9 a hot dog, and we're going to give them away.
And $9 hot dog, and a hot dog's not a high ticket item, and they're buying by the thousands, so they're getting bulk price, right? So if you really break it down, they think it's going to pay for itself in A, the publicity, okay, and then B, the publicity, and then B, the extra ticket sales. What if 3,000 more people this Saturday go to see Coastal Carolina football game because that food offer got them in there? Well, the ticket's probably $40, right? I don't know, $60, $80,
whatever it is.
I don't know. So it's
well. Look, they're not losing money in alcohol sales, so that's going to make up a lot of. At worst, I can see them just, baseline 0. I don't know.
Is it? And I'm going to step out in an area I don't know, but I have heard. I think it's been probably a couple of decades now. I don't know the NASCAR world, but I know that it wasn't that long ago. NASCAR lets you bring in your own cooler.
Still can, actually.
Is that right? And obviously that's cutting down on their beer sales and drink sales and what. But you're also probably paying $200 to get in Daytona. You know, the more 200s they say, if that entices an extra 5,000 fans to spend $200, we'll do it.
Yeah, and like just to reference NASCAR, I know it pretty well because I work for a company that sponsors the entire series.
Sure,
but it's only so big that your cooler could be. So you're not rolling in a huge Yeti cooler.
That's
so
true.
Whatever you can pack in
That's
there,
true.
throw a couple sandwiches in. But think about the parking. When you talk about a game, the two things you're like, it's way expensive to eat and it's way expensive to park.
Yeah.
Therefore, I don't even want to look at tickets.
Yeah.
So you still have the parking aspect. You still have the ticket aspect, to your point. And, okay, we're going to give food away. I mean, reality is, how much can you actually eat at a game?
Yeah.
That's it. Only I mean, only six.
And
I
again,
can't even
see, I brought that up too.
I would eat 2 hot dogs a month.
A lot of people are like out there listening, like Patrick was saying a minute ago, or think you, man, just gonna sit there and eat. Well, you're there to watch the game, so you're not gonna just drop anchor and eat 75 hot dogs and miss the game, right? So if you really think this thing out, a lot of, I don't want to be sexist here, but a lot of ladies are gonna go, I don't want a hot dog, honey. I want to, so right.
I want a wrap.
Yeah,
because they're still going to have
pizza.
signature. They're still going to have other signature dishes for sure.
Well, think about
And
it.
like, dude, how many hot dogs can you eat until you're like, I don't want another hot dog for another month or something like that?
And they may say, 12 and under have to be accompanied by an adult, so the kids just don't go. Kids just don't run away and stay by the right.
Do it free for the kids. I love that.
But it does say required to scan the school app per visit, so you can get back on. That right there will keep the kids from just 12-year-olds just hanging out at the thing. They would have to scan and they wouldn't have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's going to protect that. But it's an interesting promotion, isn't it?
See how it goes.
Interesting.
I'm thinking of baseball, Terry. When we need to try to see if we can set up shop for one of these midweek games.
Yeah.
And maybe do our show outside the stadium. I mean, that'd be awesome, right?
Yeah. That was fun at the baseball grounds the other day. We had a blast over there.
It was fun. Oh, yeah. I wish we could have. Man, I wish I could have been there right when the show started.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun. That
we
really
need to do that again. Next time, let's do. I don't know who you know over there, but we need to do that again.
Yeah, I know everybody. Getting back to March Madness, a couple things. I did not realize this, Patrick. You may have, Trent, possibly. Do you realize what a cold streak the Big Ten is having in college basketball? The Big Ten has not sent a rep to the Final Four in 4 of the last 5 years. They haven't had anybody in the Final Four. The Big Ten has not won an NCAA basketball title since 2000, when Michigan State, Florida.
Since 03. Wow.
How about that?
Wow.
That stunned me when I read that.
Who would you talk about Big Ten? Who's the first?
Michigan State,
right?
Is best.
And then who?
Ohio State has had periods. Florida knocked them out in the final game to win one of their titles.
When?
Greg Oden, 05, 06, 06, 07.
Purdue, Final Four last year, championship game.
Overall.
But every 4 or 5, every recruiting class.
Michigan players here and there, but
they went deep.
But I mean, we're in 2025. The Big Ten hasn't won a title since 2000. Now the SEC's been since 12, right? Kentucky in 12,
which is hard to believe, but
right? Kentucky in 12 is the last SEC. You got
right.
Eating it up. You got Carolina and Duke eating it up.
Oh my gosh, get him, please get him. Sorry.
Who you get?
This guy on the motorcycle, he's going 80 and right in front of a cop, and I'm like, oh yeah, get him.
Hey, citizens arrest. Do a citizens arrest.
He might have been going 90.
You know what they do about those guys? They let them go.
Why?
It's too dangerous
for other people. Yeah, for other people.
Not even for other people.
Why chase him down and hit him?
If you're doing 100, why am I going to try to chase you?
That's what
One, I'll never catch you.
And you're putting other people at risk.
It's a safety thing.
Yeah. This is going to sound terrible, but I get mad when those motorcycle guys fly through traffic and all, and fly like Patrick. That happened. I was on Blanding Boulevard years ago, and I'm sorry that the guy didn't die, so this makes it a little better. I'm on Blanding Boulevard, like passing the dog track, about to get on 295 to go over the Buckman. The Buckman. Okay, so I'm on Blanding Boulevard. I'm just about to start getting on the curve of the on ramp to get on 295. This motorcycle punk goes flying between the lanes, right, on all this traffic, and that really made me mad. I'm like, that little punk.
I wish those guys, if they did it, it's all wrong. I think it's legal in California though to weave through traffic on your motorcycle. I wish they would go to the outside, like outside of the outside lane. That way, cause anyone cannot see him coming and turn and.
Flying. It's scary. Hey, it is scary. He goes flying by me. And I'm in a million car line, right? And I'm taking this big turn, and it really pissed me off. But this is like 30 seconds later. I take the big turn, and I'm about to get on expressway, and there he is, wiped out. and he's moving. So, and I kind of blew my horn. I think everybody did. And went, you deserve that, you little punk.
You do.
You know, he was all wiped out,
Being
man.
completely reckless.
Yeah.
Just last week on the Buckman, that happened to me.
Is that right?
Right through the middle of two on the dotted line, or
Right.
whatever you want to call it.
Right. It's spooky. Hey, Pat, I don't know if you heard the news, not big news, but I wanted to get it out, basketball related, March Madness kind of related. Did you hear Buzz Williams took the Maryland job today? He left Texas A&M. And I think that's a good move. Maryland, basketball is number one at Maryland. Basketball is not number one at Texas A&M.
It's not.
I think
it's not. I don't know, man. I saw Buzz being there for a long time, much like I think he was there for 6 years, 6 seasons.
I hate the SEC losing him. I think he's a good coach.
He's a good coach.
But I can see.
I don't know how good of a recruiter, because, I mean, his teams have been solid, but he's not had a lot of star guys go to the NBA.
Yeah.
In his time at A&M, so
yeah,
he like you said, Maryland, right, it's a big basketball school. So hopefully he can get some big players down. I mean, shoot, they just had that kid, Derek, or the kid for Maryland now.
Queen.
The big guy. Queen. There you go.
Yeah.
It'd be nice. I know you'd be happy if that kid comes back.
Yeah. I don't know. Wade Taylor's gone, right? He has no more eligibility.
No more eligibility. Nope. He's out of there.
I don't know if there's anybody worth poaching at Texas A&M that Buzz might not be able to take with him to Maryland, but
no, I think they lost. I think they're losing 7 or 8 guys.
That might be another reason
why he took off.
While you're kind of on top.
Right.
I still think we talked about this a little bit earlier. How committed is Texas A&M to fund the basketball?
Yeah. It's definitely A&M's all football. Maryland leans basketball. Maryland's got much more basketball tradition than they do football. I want to get these times out. I'm going to throw these out all week long for people with March Madness. 6:09, Florida is the first game Saturday. Florida and Auburn, 6:09. That will start at 6:09. That's the first game. They'll come on at 6, and they'll tip off.
Why not 3:30? Why not 3:09? You know.
I know. The second game
on a Saturday.
8:49, Duke and Houston, and that could be a little, 30 minutes after the conclusion. So 6:09, 8:49. Monday night championship game is scheduled to tip at 8:50. 8:50. Could be 9:20. Seems like they used to do it at 9:20.
I understand the West Coast. Well, it's midnight, and they talk about the most called in sick day.
Yeah.
Super Bowl Monday.
Yeah.
What about basketball national championship?
Got to be up there. Got to be up there.
Ian
Eagle, Bill Raftery, and Grant Hill will be on the call for both games.
It's a good call. That's a good group. I enjoy them.
Good group. That they work good together. Raftery, Bill Raftery, and Grant Hill have worked together for years, and you might not think they would work. You got this old guy, and you got this smooth former NBA. They work good together, I think. Don't you, Pat?
Yeah. Rav, I mean, I love his voice. He's got that comical kind of just grisly, comical and grisly at the same time. Like he is an announcer that has like the perfect amount of passion with what he does. Like he's not a homer. Sometimes you get people that are leaning here or there, but he's pretty good at what he does.
All these analysts, they have a signature. Bill Raftery's signature, right?
What is it? Is it onions?
Man to man. They open up the first possession of the game if they're playing man to man. He says that. You've heard him say that, right?
Who's onions? Someone says onions all the time. Is that Bill too?
I think he says that as well. Grant Hill's good. Grant Hill's a smooth analyst. I think he knows.
He's so smart. He knows the game. He articulates it so well. He looks good too. All those things.
Tracy Wolfson will be the sideline, and but
Tracy is she, like 5 feet tall?
Did you see her standing next to? I love that as a short
guy.
Next
to Janai Broom. Oh my goodness!
Did you see that interview? It was great, man.
Oh, she's so short, Trent. She's holding the mic like full extension up to Janai Broom's face.
She's not short. Those basketball players are weird tall people. All of them, Patrick. All of them are weird tall people, Patrick. Weird tall people.
You trying to fight? You trying to fight?
A couple more things. Florida, Auburn, and Tennessee and Alabama could not make the third, right, into the Final Four. It's only been done once. 3 teams from one conference. 1985. Georgetown,
Remember,
Villanova, St. John's, all from the Big East, joined Oklahoma. And that was the year Villanova, they were the 8th seed and won it.
they beat Patrick Ewing, right?
And
That
they
year.
lost like 3 times and beat them the 4th time, right? Beat them the 4th time. You know who else did that? I remember, speaking of Oklahoma. Oklahoma had a really run in the 80s, Billy Tubbs, and they were good. They had Stacy, I can't remember Stacy, Mookie Blaylock and all those guys. He was UNLV guy.
UNLV.
Stacy King. They had a big guy named
yeah.
Stacy King,
Left.
Mookie Blaylock, and all these guys for Oklahoma. They were really good. They ran into conference foe Kansas with Danny Manning in the championship game. Well, they were both in the Big 8, I think, back then. And Kansas had lost to Oklahoma 3 times, twice in the regular season, once in the tournament, conference tournament, but they knocked them off in the finals in the one to count.
Well, they always say, too, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. It's got to be really hard to beat them 4 times.
Pat, could you feel a confidence level? You were in Gainesville around the basketball team today or yesterday. Could you feel much of a confidence level going into that Auburn game? I'm worried, man. I think any of these 4 teams could win this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All one seed. I think more so the Gators believing they're the team of destiny with how they fought out these last few games and wins, especially how Texas Tech was guarding Walter Clayton. Like, it was so difficult for him to find that window, He doesn't need much to get his shot off, but that's why I'm, like you said, Terry, I'm kind of glad our matchup isn't against Houston right now in this first round game.
Yeah.
I'd be worried about how well they guard in the perimeter. They're big, they rebound well, they suffocate you the whole game.
Really do.
I don't think Houston's not the kind of team that runs out of steam defensively in the last 4 minutes of the game. They are not. If anything, they get better defensively.
Pat, my prediction that when Florida makes if Florida made the Final Four, I told Pat, I said, Pat, your phone's going to ring off the hook because Pat was the linchpin.
The number of people, you're not even wrong. They're hitting me up, my phone directly.
I was going off there, but I told Pat, I told him a couple weeks, I said, Pat, if Florida makes the Final Four, you are going to be in demand because everybody in the nation that covers basketball is going to go, when was the last time Florida went? Oh, that was that Pat Young team.
Oh, yeah.
Let's call Pat Young.
Yeah.
So, Pat, they've been blowing you up, huh? Oh, we lost you again, Pat. Hit your button again. This time it's on your end. There we go. I want to hear this answer for Pat. There you go. There you go, Pat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What was I saying? Yeah.
About
hitting my phone directly. Hold on. I don't got to get my headphones.
Yeah, we can hear you. We hear you.
There we go. I need you in the earbuds.
Okay.
Yeah, Twitter, social media. I think it's important to do as much stuff as you can, and get your name out, get your eyes on you as well, and people trust I got Sirius XM in the morning at 9 a.m. So yeah, Terry, it's a lot.
Don't forget to mention the Young and Norvelle show.
That's right.
Young and Norvelle show.
Hey, Patrick, do you have an assignment for this weekend? Obviously,
I'm done, man. I'm done. I'm done for the year.
Definitely done. Really,
That's it, brother. That's it, brother.
They should have been. Y'all should be at a sports bar right outside that damn arena somewhere.
I had a buddy, and he had a rant. I'm going to go off screen for a second. Let me read it to you verbatim because I agree with him. My buddy Mark Pate, he's like, and he literally said, forgive my rant. Help me understand why the SEC is not booking you a hotel room for you at the Western Riverwalk. That's where the Gators are. Having you do a talk, a book signing. So I can think of 1,000 reasons why they should do this. Yeah. Greg Sankey is missing out on a great opportunity. I said, you make a great point. I guess maybe too much on his plate, being the committee.
I guess, man, but I totally agree with that guy. Totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great story.
And Pat, I got the damn yesterday. Over the weekend, Sunday. You probably did too. I got the UF media credential thing. You had to turn it in by 5:00 Monday, but it's so hard to put a quick trip together right? And go find some advertisers to help you fund it. It's just so hard that short time. But
it's so hard. I guess we'd have to reach out to these advertisers and say, hey, if the Gators make it, a month in advance or whatever.
But I mean, Patrick Young.
To try to get one this quickly. Oh my gosh.
But Patrick Young, I don't want to tell the SEC network, they know what they're doing, but there's no reason you are not out there. And they will obviously do hits from there. They may not be able to get on the premises, but they can. No. They could. You can't tell me, Pat. You and I couldn't find a sports bar to set up and do your show somewhere. I mean,
I know. There's gonna and this too. The Alumni Association, they're hosting an event.
Yeah.
Like, why would we not be doing our show or something right there? Like they could have me just out there with the audience recording, just talking to Gator fans.
Absolutely.
Or something like that, for B-roll.
And to make it worse, it's rare to get the SEC has 2 teams in the Final Four, not one. One's hard enough. You've got 2 teams, and you're guaranteed to have one in the finals. So you could do 2 days of shows. You could do Saturday if you're the SEC Network, and guaranteed Monday you would
guaranteed a team in the final game. You're right.
Man, what a stumble! What a miss! And I get it. CBS has the right, so you can't get on the premises, right? But you can't tell. I've never been to San Antonio, but I understand that area is perfect.
Oh, I've been.
It's laid out.
Awesome.
There's places that you could go. Hey, they would kill for the SEC Network.
You could be right across the street,
and probably wouldn't even have to pay anything. The restaurant or sports bar would love the SEC Network to say, "Hi, welcome to Trent's Sports Bar in San Antonio." Man, I can't believe you didn't go, Pat. I can't believe you couldn't get out there with the SEC Network. That's a fumble, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
That is a fumble. That really, really is. So, all right, Pat, where you heading? You coming back from Gainesville?
And Matty Jacks, come back from Gainesville. Really nice trip. Great news from the doctor. And then, Terry, this hat, again, Radware on this side. Yeah. I was going there just expecting to get a hat. Dude, they hooked me up. I will send you a picture. I'm going to take everything out and lay it out. I have three bags full of Radware stuff, and it's awesome. They're such a great, and they're donating their time for my event coming up in June, and they'll be donating their time and their products for the golf tournament. So
how about that?
Maybe we need to get some Young and Norvelle stuff made as well. We can.
Yeah, I tell you that Gator Boys hat's sharp, man. That is.
I know you like white hats too. You love white hats.
I do like white hats and white visors. I do. So, all right, PY, we'll let you go, man. Get back safe and good stuff. Good first hour. We'll get together, obviously, as the weekend.
Are you going to have Trivia Pat on? Is he on with you today?
No, his job. I think we scared him off. His job changed.
Knowledge.
So they got a new guy here. I think we scared him off, guys. I'm on.
Oh man.
But he wants to still do it, so I'm probably going to set him up, and we'll get back on. That's
fun. Like a plan.
That is.
It's
fun.
Great, man. It's great. I love it. I love kicking his butt.
I do too. All right, PY, have a good rest of your day, and we'll
guys.
Good to see you
later.
That is Patrick Young. This is Trenton Torsia. I'm Terry Norvelle. Hey, take a break. Come back. Talk about baseball. Talk about hardball.
Talk about whatever you want.
Yeah, let's talk some hardball on the other side. We'll continue March Madness. Feel free to drop us any chat. If I don't see it, if Trent doesn't see it, maybe or Casey can read it to us if you want to get involved, question, comment, thought on stuff we are talking about here on a Tuesday live from Hurricane Joint Creek.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry. We still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville. It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air. It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at BoldCityAC.com. Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. BoldCityAC.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs. Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at BoldCityAC.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Oh, here we go. All right, there you go. Good look at the bell tower, I believe that is, on the campus of the University of Florida. As they hope to be ringing that son of a gun a week coming up on Monday. They hope to be ringing that thing, I guess. I guess you're ringing for a championship, right, Trent?
Would it be Monday or Tuesday at that point?
Yeah, you're right. The way these games go. Terry Norvelle, Trenton Torchia here on a Tuesday. We're at our Tuesday home. We love being here at Hurricane Jewington Creek here in the heart of Mandarin. Trent, let's we'll keep basketball talk obviously all weekend, and then obviously first of next week we'll kind of review and wrap up March Madness. Let's talk some hardball, well, baseball.
Sure.
The torpedo bat, the big story, the first big story of Major League Baseball, the bats. And what do you make of it? I know I'm strong on one side. Is it? I think it's much ado about nothing. Where are you at with the bat situation? These torpedo bats.
Well, the first question would be, are they legal?
I think they are.
And they are. And the Yankees are the ones that started this. And they got with the backstory is pretty cool. They got MIT
smart guy,
MIT student, and then another I don't know if they're Harvard, Yale, but Ivy League people. They took one of the Yankees' non-power hitters, and they analyzed where most of the pitches hit on the bat.
Contact on the bat. Yeah. And
So
I think we all kind of all us hitters. There's that little sweet spot. You don't want to be way up
too, right?
You don't want to be way up high. You don't want to be on the handle. There's a sweet spot, kind of by the label, down sort of.
But they've lowered.
Yeah.
So you only have to conform with the. And I don't.
I've got them. I think.
So
I think. Hey, let me. We talked yesterday. As I understand it, the maximum length of a Major League Baseball bat is 42 inches.
42.
Okay. And the maximum weight, 32 ounces. So anything inside that, in my opinion, you know how a bat's made, right? A rectangular piece of wood is put on a lathe, and I think it's all electric, robotic now.
Yeah, I've
but
watched it.
But it's spun, and you. The way I look at it, all they're doing is thinning out the top few inches and thinning out the bottom, the handle, so that they can put more of the 32 inches in the middle and make it a thicker, bigger.
But it can only be so thick.
I agree.
2 and 5 inch, 2 and 5/8.
But these
inches,
are. I think it's an optical illusion. We're so used to seeing a baseball bat go from handle thin and work its way up. This is more of a bowling pin look, but all the numbers are working. I think all they're doing is taking some from here and taking some from here and putting the mass here. I'm fine with it as long as it's not bigger than 2 point whatever diameter inches, right?
I guess the
so what do you stand on? I'll cut you off again.
Well, so the barrel's been lower. So it's not toward the end of the bat.
Yeah.
It's more toward the handle, but you still have to take it down.
And what's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's clever. I think it's genius.
Yeah.
They consulted with Major League Baseball
Absolutely.
and said, Michael Kay was on today, you know, the national guy, and I heard his story.
Yeah.
And they're giving him a hard time because on air during a Yankee broadcast.
Okay, what did he say?
He said the torpedo bat.
Okay.
And everybody's like, what's a torpedo bat? And they said, why did you even bring it up? Yeah. Who would have noticed? Well, somebody's going to notice.
Of course they are.
Well,
and the Yankees cleared that with baseball.
Cleared it,
the last thing they
100%.
want to do is forfeit every game they had illegal bats in, or
100%.
right?
And then last night, De La Cruz for the Reds.
Yeah,
Got his hands on a torpedo bat.
But I mean,
he was like 4 for 4 with a home run, double, single. He didn't put the cycle because he didn't triple.
and I'm
7
gonna.
RBI.
Wouldn't you imagine the other 29 franchises all have ordered and gotten deliveries of that bat until it's illegal, right? Why not try it?
The smart thing would have been the Yankees would have patent on it for at least a year.
Well, what? I think it's a story about nothing. And isn't your charge, former pitcher Trenton Torsia, aren't you supposed to stay away from the fat part of the bat? Right? Hey, pitch better.
At least pitch,
right?
Or pitch down in the zone and on the
Yeah.
edges.
Yeah.
Live on the edge.
Yeah.
Low in the zone.
And frankly, if you take some of the bulk off the top of the bat, let's say the top 3 or 4 inches, because you're trying to buy yourself ounces to put here.
Yeah.
Bulk. And you take some of the ounces and thin the handle even more. Offensively, some of those chink Texas leaguers you're not going to get anymore. So right? I mean, you may hit a ball 500 feet, but some of those Texas leaguers off the end of the bat or the handle aren't going to be Texas leaguers anymore. I mean, isn't it? Is it much ado about nothing?
Yes. I agree. It's a change in dynamic. Here's the thing about Major League Baseball historically. The juiced ball, the raised laces, the ticky-tack with the pitchers. It's always something.
Cork
bats.
Too much pine tar.
Right. Pine tar went too high up.
Yeah, and that way the fielders can't throw it, and you're going to get on base. That's base. I think this one, I think is truly much ado about nothing. Has any other franchise ordered bats or playing with them?
Well,
I would imagine. Obviously, the
Taylor
Reds
Cruz is with the Reds, so
they've got them.
The
Braves obviously don't. The Braves need them. We'll get to the Braves in a second, but they need them, right?
I got some numbers on the Braves.
Anyway, the bat. I think it's a overblown story in my opinion.
But I think the league is going to conform. Here's the funny part.
What do you think league will do?
Can't do them.
I don't. They're not illegal.
I mean,
they look different.
You can't do anything this year. Put it that way.
Good point. You would think.
And then maybe they look at it in the offseason and go. It just depends on what the numbers look like.
Yeah.
But what's sexy?
Yeah.
In Major League Baseball. What is
Speaking of, and if we did help, Yankees against Milwaukee on Saturday against their former pitcher Cortez.
He didn't have a good number.
Have you ever heard the first 3 pitches of the game? Home run, second pitch, home run, third pitch. How do you not throw the third pitch in the dirt? Right?
Here's where I throw the third pitch.
I know.
In the rib cage.
But, I mean how do you not throw the third one just wasted, right, in the dirt? Then they hit 4 in the inning, 9 in the game, the Yankees.
No.
And that was a teammate from last year. You know
Yes.
that, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm actually a Yankee fan. But here's the other thing I'll throw in there. Aaron Judge has hit 4 home runs already in 3 games.
Yeah.
He does not use a torpedo bat.
How about that? I
Just
didn't know
for the
that.
record,
I
yes.
did not know that. Oh, interesting. Tough start for the
So
Braves.
all those Yankee haters.
Yeah.
Book
I didn't know
mark
that.
Yeah.
My God, put a bat in his hand. Tough start for the Braves.
Oh, bad.
0-4 now.
They're 0-5.
0-5 now. And a tough year to open up on the West Coast. I mean, San Diego's no joke. And now
San
they're in,
Diego's 5-0.
I know, and now they're in LA. LA 6-0. Right? Tough start for the Braves. Now, Brave fans are saying, whoa. Let's take it back. Let's walk it back to 2021. The year they won the World Series. They started 0-4, but I think this is a different animal. The NL is much better. They didn't have this super team LA in the NL. How about the Braves?
Well,
The Braves have gone through a 29-inning scoreless streak already this year. 29 innings.
No.
One hit.
And even the NL East. You got Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You got the Mets.
Yeah.
They're good. So they're, by the way, they're 0-5 and they're only 3.5 games back.
Yeah.
So it's not terrible.
I know Braves
Listen,
fans going to say 2021, but the NL didn't have the Dodgers were the super team. They weren't the super team in 2021. The power poll right now from Yahoo still has LA 1, Philly 2, Braves 3, Boston 4, Arizona 5. Of those 5 teams, there's only one AL.
Wow.
So good luck, Braves, copying 2021. What were you going to say?
Guess what they're hitting as a team?
Well under 200.
144.
142. Wow.
On base
Get them
percentage,
some bat.
243. 2.5 times out of 10 hitters reach base.
And
That's no bueno.
Profar out for 80 games. And did you see where he's out for 80 games for testing? And cannot play postseason if they make it. How about that? I've never heard of that.
I didn't know that part.
I
That's
didn't.
That's a new
I-
twist.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
But did you see that? 80
I
games
did.
and no 2025 postseason if they make it.
Yeah.
That's harsh.
That's very harsh. 80 games is already
Woo. Yeah.
But,
So Profar goes out. Lopez, one of their starters in the rotation, is out for a little while. And Acuna's still a month away, they say. Right. Ooh, hold
well,
on,
the
Braves.
other thing, so you're hitting 144 and your ERA as a staff is over 5. So you're giving 5 runs up at a minimum a game and you're not scoring.
They've already gone 29 scoreless. They scored a run last night. They've had the season just started. How do you squeeze in 29 scoreless innings already? They scored 1 last night. Chris Sale, this is his second start. He had got a 5-something ERA. He struggled already. He goes against Dusty May. What a tough start, though, on the West Coast. Man, what a year to start on the West Coast. God, you catch the Dodgers.
You don't want them early.
You don't want them at all.
Well, you don't want them at all.
You want
certainly.
rain.
But I mean, really, it's like, where do we go next?
Oh.
Especially when you just got your brains beat in.
Yeah. Kind of a sad story on this date in sports history. You know, we like to do these, and a lot of times they're not sad. You'll remember this, and it happened. We all saw it, 1996, this date in sports history. Opening day in Cincinnati, day game. John McSherry, remember the big umpire? He's in the middle of the game, and just falls. A very heavy guy,
Big guy.
but he dies of a heart attack on the field.
No, I could see it.
Remember that?
Right
Yeah,
now,
and he kind of fell out, and real sad that date. This date in sports history, 1996. That damn division's tough, and the NL's tough. I mean, baseball's tough in general, but damn, we haven't mentioned Arizona. I mean, they caused problems the last couple of years.
And they're sneaky good. They're just
They
on
are.
the West Coast, so they
Yeah,
don't get the exposure.
You don't see them. And I know it's early, but man, I tell you, you dig a big hole this year, it's tough coming out of that thing, isn't it?
It's early, but if you look at 0-5, I thought about this today. I'm like, we want to be X amount of games over 500 at the end of 162.
Yeah.
To be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to factor in what you need to do from now to the end of the season. And you look at it like, it's not like if you play 500 ball, You're under 500.
You're still, because of your start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're,
And
and that's not going to get you in the playoffs. I
and you,
understand that.
but you got to get in the
It's simple
600.
math,
You got to
too.
get in the 600 ball to think playoffs, right? I mean,
Yeah.
2 out of 3 is 667, right?
So now that becomes
You got to go.
even though it's 5 games, it's still you got to get on a heater at some point.
Yeah. Some just kind of quirky things that have happened so far in the first week of the season. Mookie Betts, all that weight he lost. He hits 2 home runs in 1 game, but man, have you seen him? He's still gaunt looking. He lost so much weight. He's thin. His face, he got sick and lost a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
But he's hit 2 home runs in 1 game, so he's performing.
Ball player.
How about the Pirates? The Pirates' first 3 losses this year, all walk off.
3 in a row.
Marlins, walked them off 3 in a row.
You know what's funny about the Pirates?
What?
They refer to the Pirates as the Paul Skeens Pirates.
Isn't that great? That's what they got. But how about that? Their first 3
That's the only
losses.
game they won.
The Pirates' first 3 losses this year were all they got walked off
That's brutal.
by the Marlins. The only other team that has ever had 3 in a row were the 1924 Pirates. The Pirates. Dylan Cruz, remember him, the great player at LSU?
Oh yeah.
He's in the bigs, 0-11. So he's scuffling a little bit, getting his first
I
crack.
got another one for you.
What do you got?
It's just Jake Mangum.
Oh,
Shout out to Hail
Mississippi
State.
State. He's in big.
Second game was last night.
Wow.
4 for 4, 2 stolen bases, a double, and
He was that just scrappy guy, right?
it's-
Just a
he's
baseball
the guy
player.
that you
Just a baseball.
you love. I hate.
Yeah. Yes. He's that guy. He's that.
But switch hitter, plays
He's
great
nails,
defense, and a guy got hurt, and he got called up to AAA. And what a debut! So we'll see.
How about that? It'll be fun. Also, I did this at spring training. He had a big spring training. It'll be fun to track Jack Caglione. He had a huge spring training. Cut down on his strikeouts, hit a bunch of home runs, hit 500, and that's a team that needs star power. He's with the Royals, right? They need star
Won't
power.
be long for
Wouldn't
him.
you see him? Don't you see him within 2 months? He's getting.
I
the
would
call?
say by All-Star break.
Yeah,
for sure.
He started in Double-A.
Yep.
He's obviously he went the rookie.
But
A
remember,
ball.
we've talked about this. The Double-A is more the leap to the big leagues
Yeah.
than Triple-A is.
Yeah. And I have been tracking Charlie Condon, Georgia's kind of tags. Poor kid. Late last year, played a season, got in the minors late. You play a abbreviated season.
Right.
He had a bone spur on his ring fingers. That screwed him up last year. Then he breaks his wrist.
I saw that.
Broken hand, broken wrist. So Condon for Georgia, the big power hitter for Georgia, is really scuffling to being healthy. But Cag's going to be fun. Cag should be called up probably. If he doesn't just totally tank, you would think the Royals will bring him up in 2 months, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Like I said, before the All-Star break in July, I think he's.
Speaking of Gator players, did you see where Jonathan India took one in the helmet? Oh, man,
I didn't
it was
see
scary.
it.
It rode in on him. It wasn't intentional. I mean, it drilled him in the helmet. Oh, just.
He's a tall guy, too.
And who were the India was one of them. I think it was India. I think I've got this right. Jonathan India, former Gator, All-American player, good player, Florida, and Brady Singer, one of the 2 pitchers that led Florida to the World Series win years ago. They were involved in a trade for each other. India went from the Reds to the Royals, I think, and Singer went from the Royals to the Reds. Traded for each other. But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to track Caglione. It's gonna be fun, and baseball wants him. You said it. The home run is the thing.
Yeah.
MLB wants Cags to get up there, and they would love Caglione. I don't know if he's doing much more pitching. They would love him to double dip.
That would be pretty cool if he did.
How about if he faced Shohei, and they're both pitching and hitting? Wouldn't that be cool?
Got to be a first time ever, right? Unless you're going back to the
Babe
Babe Ruth era. But you know what? Here's the last thing about Cags. Don't rush him.
Yeah. Why? 22
Just
years
make
old.
sure he's ready to go.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want
is
to
yo-yo.
either yo-yo him or make the move, and then you struggle, you lose confidence.
Yeah.
And the whole season goes by the wayside.
Yeah. You would think Kansas
He only
City
played 1 year short season A, and that's it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So
I think so. And he played well. He went boom, boom, boom.
Had a great,
and then a great spring.
Great spring.
Yeah, great spring. You and I've talked a lot. It's another perplexing regular season unfolding for Gator baseball. I know they went to the Final Four in Omaha. They got deep. They were hot as. You're in the Final Four. You got a chance to win the damn thing. They scuffled all year last year. They are really scuffling. And Trent, they can't get mid-relief pitching. They just can't get the game they lost here in Jacksonville was that they tried to steal the game from FSU and give up a salami in the ninth.
Yeah.
Saturday, I told you, they're playing Ole Miss. Middle game of 3. They're playing Ole Miss. 4 days earlier, they gave up a grand slam to beat them. They're playing Ole Miss. It's 5-5 in the 6th. Just this dogfight game. Florida's on the road in Auburn. Florida hits a grand slam. They go up 9-5. You're gonna go win the middle game. You're gonna try and win the series. Florida hits a grand slam this game. To go up 9-5 in the 6th. In the 8th, they give up 2. They still got a 2-run lead. In the 9th, walk, couple of doubles, they walk off.
Yeah. I mean, it's
bullpen killed them.
Well, their ERA as a staff is just under 6.
I won't win many games.
No, it's not going to.
In any
the strikeout to walk ratio is out of balance. So they're not just, it's one thing, like, and coaches talk about this all the time. Give up the solo home run, it's okay.
Yeah.
But you can't walk one, hit one, and then give up a home run.
Well, again, Ole Miss, 3 straight walks to finish the game. I mean, walk, double, walk off. Okay. FSU hits the grand slam to beat Florida 8-4 walk-off fashion. Florida takes a 1-run lead. They're trying to close it out. Walk, hit batter, walk. You can't do that.
No.
You just and that's your quote-unquote closer on the mound. Walk, hit batter, walk. Can't do that.
Then it was single tie game.
Yeah.
Walk off grand slam.
Walk off salami.
8-4.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Oh man.
You know Sully's banging his head against the wall.
And I've watched a lot of their games. You know, baseball's all over it now. You can see baseball like crazy. He's doing what you would do and I would do. He's handing the ball to somebody. If I hand this ball to enough guys, somebody is going to grab that bridge relief, and somebody's going to grab that. You hope, but you may look up the season's over too.
And the thing is, you and I have talked about this too. It becomes a hot potato.
Yes, it does.
It's like, who wants the hot potato? And I'm like, karma's not going our way. The rolls aren't going our way. Or the breaks aren't going our way. You know, the camp that never could.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You got to completely change your mindset. And I've been saying this with you for years. Sully is not the easiest guy to play for.
I would imagine. Yeah.
There's no compassion there.
Yeah.
Hey, kid, hang in there. You
Yeah.
know, it's. I gotta find somebody.
Baby.
I gotta find somebody who can throw a strike.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. And what are we? The college season's roughly 30 games in. You should have your bridge guy, your 8th inning guy, and your closer, and your Sunday guy. Right? I mean, they may not be the best guys, but those roles should be defined by now, right?
You should have your 9 guys.
Yeah.
3 starters, and then you're going to need, call it 8 then.
Yeah.
Call it 5 relievers on the weekend.
Yeah.
And because what teams are doing now is they're burning their closer out. If it's Friday night and they're winning in the 6th, 7th inning, they're bringing their closer in.
Yep.
Then they smoke them for the weekend.
Yeah.
So now you get to Sunday.
Yeah.
And we love to say this. I do anyway. Johnny Holt's
Yeah.
Johnny Holt's up there. And then who's gonna step up on Sunday?
Yeah. Yeah. It's been maddening watching Florida the last couple of years, and is he doing a poor job in the portal? And the last 2 years, I mean, they've had tags, but like this year, they're not knocking the cover off the ball. Florida's not hitting the ball and a couple of guys. Curlin's been hurt, but I thought by this point he was a little second baseman. He swings for the fences. I thought Heyman was going to be a 20 home run guy. He's never panned out. Shelton, the shortstop, was a 20-plus home run guy. I know the other day he was sitting on 4, I think. I mean, guys like that got to give you 20.
Yeah.
They're not knocking. They're struggling on the mound, and they're not knocking the cover off the ball.
No,
that's how you get beat.
They're hitting 302 as a team. Just to put it in perspective, Tennessee's hitting 388.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Tennessee's loaded again, man.
Once again, early, but the point is, You've either got to hit it down score, or you got to pitch it to.
All Tennessee does is run a bunch of guys throwing 100, and a bunch of guys that can hit it 450.
We have to talk
Again,
about that.
man, he's got it going, doesn't he?
That's my buddy.
Yeah, he's got it going. Yeah. Give everybody an overview. The SEC baseball this year, it's kind of weird. It's there. A couple of your standard guys are up there. Tennessee, Arkansas, and LSU. Georgia's having a good year at the plate. But it's weird, right? Nobody thought Florida would stink it up like this. Did anybody think A&M? A&M was preseason 1 and a bunch of
one.
Talk about the SEC.
Well, so A&M is 1-8 in the conference. Florida's 1-8 in the conference. Both top 10 preseason.
Yeah.
Mississippi State is 1-8 in the conference. They're preseason top 20. Missouri's 0-9, but they're whatever.
Yeah.
And then what you've got to look at is record-wise, the one-win teams. There's that middle group that's 4-5.
Yeah.
And that's Auburn and
sure.
I forget who else, but guess who snuck
South
into
Carolina
the top 10 now?
Who?
Alabama.
Alabama's in the top.
So all of a sudden, Alabama's up there. The top 5 teams are SEC
in the national rank.
In the national rank.
Yeah.
So Georgia is 4th, which I think you and I both agree that it's at least a head scratcher.
Yeah.
I mean,
they knocked the cover off the ball. The word is they don't pitch it very well.
Yeah.
And that's a tough way to play.
Well, we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
But LSU's 5th. I mean, they're strong. Tennessee's 1.
Arkansas's in there.
Arkansas.
Is this Arkansas here?
Yeah. Don't you kind of hope so?
Yeah. But remember now, Tennessee won it all last year. Remember who they beat? A&M, and A&M brought everybody back. They had the coaching switch, right? Schwarzenegger went to Texas. They bumped up the assistant, but they brought Lavallee and those guys. All those guys came back. They were preseason 1, and they dropped out 2 weeks into the season. They dropped out of the top 45. They just fell off the earth, didn't they? Texas A&M.
No, they did. Florida just dropped out of the top 25 this week.
Wow.
And then think about who the SEC added. They added Texas and Oklahoma, and they're both in the top 10.
Yeah.
So it's like the only 2 teams that cut the SEC in the top 10 are Florida State and Clemson. And they're 6 and 7 respectively.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about that? A little step back the last couple of years, you could say that for Vanderbilt as well. Tim Corbin hasn't been running those traditional Vandy teams out. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Last couple of years, they're good. They're not great like they've been.
They're 16th right now.
I saw where Kumar Rocker, he had 2 starts, I think, late last year, but he's in the rotation in the bigs, a former Vandy pitcher.
Remember when he sat out?
Yeah.
Yep. Well, nobody wanted him because he would take a physical.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember
the arm and stuff.
We talked about it. Yeah.
But Vanderbilt's taking a little bit of a step back as well.
They have, and I think there's 2 things that start to factor in there. Remember, Vandy had that advantage of that endowment.
Yes.
They got 35 scholarships for baseball.
Yes.
Somehow, some way, and no other NCAA school had figured out that loophole.
Yeah.
They had that. Now you got NIL, and you've got the scholarship increase.
Yeah.
So it balances things out. Because I remember you and I talked, I'm like, how do you have your weekend rotation with these 3 guys?
Yeah.
I could see one of them, maybe 2.
Yeah.
But all 3. Your Sunday guy could be a Friday guy and any other.
Have you, jumping out of the SEC for a moment, have you had a chance to see FSU enough? They look legit again. They're good.
Yeah.
They're good, right?
Home run higher.
Yeah. They hit it. They hit it well. They and you know what? Those years with me, it was weird. They didn't look like FSU. FSU baseball had a look to players. They carried themselves. They look like FSU baseball last year and this year.
No, they look good. I've seen them a lot.
And that's the coach, right? That is the coach. But you know what I mean, though?
In his 3rd year.
FSU, the really good programs, they not just swagger, but FSU player, they look right in their uniform. They walk right. Mississippi State, when they're good, they got that. The Canes, when they were good, they had that.
You act right.
FSU looks like FSU baseball. They had a run of 3 years where they did not look like. I mean that physically and just the naked eye. There's just something about it. You could tell they're coached a certain way. They have a system And Garrett brought it back, man.
No, they look good.
He's brought it back.
They are good. I mean,
Yeah.
they're very legitimate.
I think one thing that's going to help him too is he was a good college player. He might have bumped around in the minors a little bit, but he's a outwork you guy. He was always that guy. He's a little scrappy shortstop, and
They make great coaches.
yeah. And he was out there chewing in the Florida game here at the baseball ground. He went out a couple times. He's chewing. The home plate umpire for some reason was 6'7". Here comes little Link Jerry. He's chewing him out, looking up at him, but he doesn't care. Did you? Okay, let's. You got some more baseball notes, I think. Let's take a break here. We're slowly wrapping up a fun, busy Tuesday edition of the Young and Norvelle Show. I want to thank Patrick Young. He was on for a full hour coming back from Gainesville, had an appointment, and good to hear everything is fine with our buddy Patrick. Trent and Torch are going to stick around until the top of the hour. We'll talk some more baseball and look back at some of this basketball talk as we are closing in on Saturday, Final Four Saturday. Back to Hurricane Georgia Creek after this timeout.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
For over 20 years, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has been providing the highest level of orthopedic and spine care to patients throughout Northeast Florida. Now, we're making that same great care even more convenient with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Direct, a walk-in clinic where you can be seen for pain or injuries with no appointment needed. Staffed by orthopedic physicians and specialists, we offer everything from diagnosis and treatment to imaging and bracing, all with no appointment needed. For more information, hours, and locations, visit our website.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms. Whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV, you can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
Summertime means sizzling sales at Nimnick Buick GMC. The #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville has lots of inventory to choose from with their best price guarantee. Nimnick never charges above MSRP. You can save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierras or get rates as low as 1.9%.
You know, I'm a truck guy. GMC Sierra, my trim level is an SLT. This one's an Elevation. Pretty good looking color as well. So here at Nimnick Buick GMC, you have a lot to pick from. My father-in-law, he drives this, an Enclave. So feel like that GMC in the family. 2025 is coming around the corner, which means it's almost time to close out those 2024s this summer. You can schedule a test drive at nimnickbuickgmc.com. And while you're there, check your trade value and customize your payment options. Nimnick is there for you, even on Sundays. Visit the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Hey, we're coming down the back stretch here. Thank you so much for spending a portion of your afternoon with us here on the Young and Norvelle Show. Trent Torsia sitting in, talking a lot of baseball. We've had a lot of basketball, obviously, hour number one with Patrick Young. I'm Terry Norvelle. I want to get back. We got some other stuff to get to before we get out of here. Getting deeper in this, I call it the power sneak play because I don't like saying that silly word, but the owners meeting
What
going
about
on.
the Philly special?
Yeah,
You like that? Or
I'm okay with that. That's the pass play, right? But this is the short yardage play. The power sneak, I'm going to call it.
the brotherly push
Okay, there you go.
in Philly.
Okay, yeah. So the NFL meetings are wrapping up, and Green Bay was one of the teams that was the team that brought the proposal to be heard. You need 24 majority to pass anything. It appeared that 16 were going to vote to get rid of the play. So they needed 24, so they tabled it. There's another meeting in May. But I thought this was interesting, reading about the play. And it's just like, sounds like Congress. They'll go and try and get 8 more or whatever they need, right?
At the bar or wherever, right? I mean,
Talking about it, it says in the article, it says, while there were some subjective concerns about the safety risks of the, I'll say it, tush push. I hate saying it, sounds so stupid. The NFL's health and safety department had no data that suggested a single injury had occurred as a result of the Eagles or any other team using it. The Buffalo Bills were the only other team that used it regularly last season, and they combined with the Eagles to call 65 of the 101 tush push runs in 2024. Okay, I want to stop there. So if it's not injury induced, which I think that's a fake excuse anyway, but that seems to be what a lot of these owners that want to get it out are using. The NFL's saying there is no injury issue. So they're trying to get this play knocked out of the game because one, maybe two teams are really good at it. Is that a reason to get a legal play thrown out of your sport because two teams seem to be better at it or put more effort into it than the rest of the league? I think that's ludicrous.
100% not.
I think that's ludicrous.
No good reason. The NFL's a copycat league.
Yes.
They've been saying that for 100 years. So why not figure it out yourself?
Well, I mean, Patrick Mahomes scrambles too good. Are we going to kill it?
Right.
I mean, come on, being silly here, but
No.
this team, hey,
Lamar Jackson's too versatile. He shouldn't run anymore.
Derrick Henry runs too powerful behind his offensive line. I mean, you can only run it 2 times in a row with him. I mean, isn't this silly?
It's silly.
Now, this is also the same league that they've been trying to define what a catch is for 20 years. They can't figure out see where they're changing the kickoff rule? They want more returns now.
Yeah.
It's just the NFL is so smart, but they do some dumbass things, don't they?
Yeah. And, well, the kickoff rule first. Just put it on the 35 and go. I mean, that's it. You don't want to. But
All I know is watching that NFL, and this was the first year of the new kickoff, it just looks dumb. Right? It just looks dumb. They royally screwed that up.
Well, and then the element of surprise with the onside
Yeah,
kick.
hey,
It's
we're going to
like,
onside
hey,
kick.
by the way,
Yeah.
just so you know,
Asinine. Hey, we got to bring everybody back because we're going to do an onside kick.
by the way, baseball, we're going to squeeze
I know.
just so your guy doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, the
you know.
safety. Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. And if you look at it, and it's like there's something about it. So they said, okay, well, it's the Jason Kelsey factor. Well, he didn't play this year.
No, he was there.
And their rate of
Yeah.
productivity is just the same.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, their offensive line, they're all 6'8" or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, so's the whole league. So
You know,
tell me,
every team.
Jalen Hurts squats 800 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Some teams, and I think it started mainly way back in the 80s with refrigerator parity. Short yardage, they put this 320-pound guy and let him barrel in. And a lot of teams historically have done that over the years. They put a big offensive or defensive lineman and let them carry the ball in short yardage situations. Some teams aren't great at it, and some teams were, and some players were great at it. You don't say, well, anybody over 300 pounds can't carry the ball.
Right.
I mean, that's just asinine. Hell, remember in college, it just reminded me, Ole Miss, they would get that J.J. Pegues, big lineman, big 300-something. Yeah. Ole Miss had him in short yardage. Florida stopped it like 3 times out of 4 attempts, and that was one of the impetus that won the game for the Gators. But no, I think that's silly, man. You're punishing a team for getting good at illegal play.
No. And I tell you the one thing, aside of we both agree that this is ridiculous. There's enough coaches under the Sirianni tree in the NFL that they're never going to vote against it. So you already have, I think, the numbers 6, including Sirianni.
Yeah.
So what's there? 3 teams. Now you're down to 24.
Yeah.
Well, it takes 1 team.
Yeah. Sure.
So
Sure. Do we have any other baseball notes over there? And do you have a handle on high school? I know Trinity's good again. I saw they were in a Power Poll 1 here in our region. Who else are some of the good?
Right. Well, I mean, Trinity's really good. They're you got like 91.
Yeah,
I can't believe it.
Wow.
They got a guy that a couple of dudes, as they say, that
Yeah.
can pitch, but one of them is a potential high draft pick.
High pick. Yeah.
This year. Providence, always good. Bowles is good. What ends up happening is every once in a while a team slips up and they'll lose a game that they shouldn't lose.
Right.
Where I am helping at University of Christian on a heater, right, like a 6-game heater right now. So what's cool for Jacksonville is in 1A, right, baseball in the state, number 1, St. John's.
Okay.
Number 2, St. Joe's and St. Augustine.
Okay.
Number 3, University of Christian.
Really?
Jacks.
How about that?
All in the same district, by the way.
When did you locate in Jacksonville?
2006.
Okay, so you've been here 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah, 20 years. So I think you caught, since you've been to Jacksonville, I think the high school baseball here is on par with Central Florida and South Florida. It's even out in the fan. It's coming up, and I played in the early 80s in high school, 80s, 70s. North Florida baseball wasn't as good as South Florida baseball, and there's some reasons it changed. But you've always been here since it got good. I mean, North Florida baseball didn't win hardly any state championships and even go far. And the level of play in the high school in the last 25 years here has just skyrocketed.
Yeah.
I think you can go down and knock heads. Teams here go knock heads with Westminster and South Florida teams, whereas 30 years ago, we weren't as good as them.
No, and you have to. I think a lot of it has to do with the growth of the city too.
I agree. Population.
But I remember the transition. Think of JU, for example. When Hayes took over there, Hazy starts taking looks at the Jacksonville player because UNF and JU were like, it's Jacksonville. And they would overlook that player, and all of a sudden they'd pop up in like Hunter Carnes is have to shoot. You'd lose a guy like him. That would love to stay home and go to, go to a UNF or something like that. I think that part has gotten better, but South Florida's still strong. But the problem is there's so many schools down there
with multiple thousand enrollment
that you're going to spread that talent out more than you might.
Another thing that I think really helped North Florida high school baseball, and this kicked in. This was a county thing, I guess. I don't know if we just didn't have everybody pushing the funding, but when I played high school baseball in the 80s, nobody had money. I think lights changed everything. You could play your games at 7 o'clock if you want to. You can play it, and people can get out and see the game, and the parents can get the. played our games. Obviously, the time changed when high school baseball started. The time had changed.
Yeah.
But you play 4 o'clock. I think there's a big difference when you can have a game tonight. 2 big teams can play 7 o'clock first pitch, and you have there were bowls had lights, nobody else had. And I think that you may say, well, what does that have to do with it? It has to do with the game and more fans and parents and the exposure. But no, nobody had lights in North Florida for the longest time. I think that really picked up the game as well. The overall.
That's interesting because, I grew up in South Florida.
Yep.
And so obviously played down there.
Yeah.
Everybody had lights.
Yeah. Is that right?
To your point. Yeah. I mean, if you didn't, it wasn't your high school. It was like your summer team, Legion team, or something like that.
I also think don't mean to cut you off, but I also think North Orlando up and then out to the Panhandle. North Orlando up. Let's just say, Ocala up. Above Orlando up and out to the Panhandle. That part of the state, which we're part of, obviously, it was still understood through the 80s. You know what? Your football coach could also be your baseball. And that's not good for the game.
Yeah.
I think South Florida had baseball coaches a lot more than, the football coach was also the baseball coach. And, he didn't take it so football was his thing. He was the AD at the school. He was drawing an extra $4,000 coaching baseball. Here's a green duffel bag. There's the bag. You know what I mean? Yeah. That was that way here. No, we had a few good dedicated coaches, but a lot of it was, and a lot of the ADs were football coaches. Even if they weren't the baseball coach also, they were the AD, and everything leaned toward football. And I'm not saying it's wrong, but it is wrong. It leaned. So how are you going to go knock heads with playoff time with South Florida baseball, high school, when they've got dedicated coaches and the game is special? It was more cultural down there, I think, and it finally got huge here, I think. Does that make sense?
No,
baseball.
It makes total sense. I know that like my high school coach played for the old 45s.
Yeah.
Which are now the Houston
Astros. Yeah.
And he comes in, and he didn't coach football.
Yeah.
He didn't coach
baseball guy.
Lady softball. He's
a baseball guy.
And that's all we did. And we had a spring team, summer team, and a fall team.
Yeah. How about that?
So you didn't have to play for summer if you wanted to play American Legion or something like that.
Yeah.
This shit, like I was a pitcher, so but I would still show up to my high school summer games just to hang out.
Sure.
And be around the guys because the culture.
Sure.
And games are at night, so if you want a summer job or whatever, you can go get a summer job.
Yeah.
And still be around your team at night.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, there were no lights in this area for a long time.
For years, we have said, I've been coaching since I moved here just as a volunteer because I love the game and I want to get back or whatever. And we've been saying for years, don't sleep on Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm going to say in the last 10 years or so, 12 years, you're starting to see people take notice.
It is really,
it blows. Remember Hayden Hurst?
Yeah.
He's tight end in the NFL now. Well, he was at Bowles.
Yeah.
94
Yep.
years for,
he went baseball first, didn't he?
Yeah.
Then came back, went to South Carolina.
Yes.
And played football and Indiana. I do know it blows my mind. When I was in high school, the number of guys, true Jacksonville guys that had made the big league, it wasn't a big number. Now, it's shocking how many, the last 20 years, how many guys have come through here and made the bigs. And I mean, played for a long time.
And I could name just Daniel Murphy.
Yeah.
He's come back. He's given back.
Yeah. Did it made it to the show and all?
Yeah.
For a while. Billy Butler had a nice career.
Billy Butler, Hurley, who's
Yeah.
a first-round draft pick, got hurt. But he's coaching at St. Joe's now.
Yeah.
So, Jonathan
Papelbon, what a great career he had.
Pumping money back in
to
the community.
And was Darren O'Day out here?
Yes.
Darren O'Day.
Oh, you're going way back.
I mean,
He went to Bishop Kenny.
Papelbon, too. Papelbon had a great career. Didn't he? Great career with the Red Sox.
Yes.
I mean, he was the man.
I made a boatload of money.
He did. But if we sat and thought, a bunch of guys, if we were sitting here when I was in high school, guys in the 70s and early 80s that made it, the number wasn't big. The number wasn't big. Now, you mentioned also the north part of the state has exploded. We have land. In the last 20 years or so, we still have land in this part of the state, whereas there's not a lot of land left that isn't developed. Orlando down, right? So that's helped. And population is the great equalizer in sports. It's not like, let me back up. If I've got a high school that has 3,000 students, let's call it half of them are men, boys, and there's a pretty good chance I can find 50 pretty good football players out of those 1,500 boys out of 3,000. If I've got a high school of 900 total and 350 are boys and the rest are girls, it'll be hard as hell to find 20 good baseball players in 300 total boys, right? You're only going to have, 40 go out probably if you're lucky. Population does a lot for. Hell, why do you think like Japan and China basketball, Japan baseball, so many people over there.
No, I know.
So you introduce the game, and there's so many people. What's China got? 1-point-something billion people. There's a good chance you can find some good basketball players in that many, right?
If you start taking the internet, great point. International topics. Look at let's go back to baseball for a second. Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Cuba. Now that's kind of opened up.
Yeah,
these players, the big poppies and Manny Ramirez and all, they have gone back and built fields. They've given equipment. They've done all this stuff. Now, instead of somebody from the Dominican Republic, their glove is a cardboard box that's tied together with a shoelace.
Not anymore.
And their bases are somebody's cap or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they come over here, to get the opportunity. But other than, I want to talk about, and I know I might be getting too local.
Yeah.
St. Johns County, the public schools, they're powered.
Yes.
Big schools.
Yes.
To your point, you got the population.
Yeah.
You got the draw.
Yeah.
Whereas in Duval County, the big county, it's more of the private.
Yeah. And our coaching,
athletic.
Our coaching here, and you can speak to this. You coach here, and you know the coach. Our coaching here in North Florida high school baseball has exponentially just gone through the roof.
Yeah.
There's quality coaching in this area, and it takes success, I think, to draw that kind of coach. But we've got good coaches here now, and guys that love the game.
And there's collaboration.
Yeah,
that's the cool thing about it. It's like, we want to go crush you on any given day. Because you compete.
Yes.
If you don't want to compete, then you're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like at the high school level, it's like, hey, I got a guy.
Yeah.
Well, I know this guy or that guy. All of a sudden, between 5 guys, 200 coaches in college.
Yeah.
To find a good
place to go. Yeah. And you're right.
Pretty cool.
I do, and I know a lot of a bunch of the coaches. I know a lot of high school coaches here, and there is kind of a neat. What was the word used?
Collaboration.
Collaboration. I'll call you. You call me. Hey, I've got a star shortstop, but man, I got another guy that's pretty damn good. He's not going to get much playing time. Here, he may call you.
Where I would slide over third base.
Yeah, but you get my point.
No, the point is
you get my point.
Yeah,
It's neat to see where baseball has gone in North Florida, being a native of this area.
Because football has always been good.
It was North Florida baseball was behind the rest of the state. It really was. Even and I know I don't know if it's still this way. If you got out of your districts here, we were paired up with Pensacola, and even Pensacola baseball was a little bit better than my senior year we got knocked out in sectionals by Pensacola Gonzales State. They came in, they were better than us, and they played a little bit better. We really had that.
They're still good.
Yeah. Jay Bell shortstop for the Pirates was their star. Played for the Pirates for a long time.
Try to get
we
him
forgot.
at Mississippi State.
We forgot Desi Relaford. He played a
Yeah.
long time. Ryan Friel, the tragedy. I'm sorry, but I mean
Right.
Ryan Friel played a long time. He was a utility guy. But man, there weren't many. A bunch of baseball guys that made it to the bigs from this area. The '90s it boomed. The '90s, Chipper went to bowls, not from this area.
Right.
That didn't hurt because people always still think Chipper's a Jacksonville guy. He went to bowls in Pierce Taylor County, I think, where he grew up at. And came over and went to bowls.
By the way, I went to his jersey retirement.
Really? At bowls? Really? Was it recent?
One of my sons was playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
How cool was that?
Very cool. My boys played at Bishop Kenny, but
Yeah.
they were playing bowls that night.
Yeah.
And Chipper referred to Bishop Kenny as the Mets of the big leagues.
How about that?
Kind of a neat reference.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, buddy. Thanks for sitting in, man. Good baseball stuff. And
We'll do it
basketball.
again.
Yeah,
right?
we'll do it soon. And when I'm back out here next Tuesday, we may be celebrating a Gator National Championship. We may be celebrating a heartbreaking loss, or they may not have even made the final game. But we'll see.
But all number one seeds.
How about that? First time in a long time,
time.
right? Since 08 or something. Been a good tournament.
Yeah.
Been a really good. They got the right teams in there.
No, I've enjoyed it.
They got the right teams in there. That'll wrap it up. We'll do it again tomorrow. I want to thank everybody, including Patrick Young, for joining us on his drive back from Gainesville. Pat will be with us, obviously, the rest of the week, talking those guys, Gator basketball, March Madness basketball. Have a great rest of your afternoon. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 4 o'clock at the Young and Norvelle Show.
At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Bricks Jack's Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Bricks Jack's Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Bricks Jack's Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jacks app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen of all the different streams that you can click on, including the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 stream. You click that, the video's rocking and rolling on your mobile device. You're watching all the shows you want to, and you're having a good time. You can also do it on your smart TV with the Action News Jacks Now app. I do it on my Samsung TV at home. It's a great way to watch it on a nice, large screen for all the content. That's the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. Hope you can find it.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Maybe you need a new tankless water heater or something a bit more intricate. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242 or cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 14